أول نقطة أنه كلما كان ألصق بجناب الله تبارك وتعالى كان في حرز من الشيطان.
The first point is that every time a person is holding on to the obedience of Allah Azza wa Jal, then he will find himself within the protection of being protected from Shaytan.
كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم,
as the Nabi, he said
لابن عباس,
to Ibn Abbas,
يا غلام,
O young boy,
احفظ الله يحفظك.
remember Allah, Allah will remember you.
فإذا حفظت الله عز وجل حفظك الله عز وجل من كل عدو لك.
So if you remembered Allah, then Allah will protect you from all of your enemies.
فهذا هو الأصل الأول في التحرز من الشيطان.
So this is the very first point when it comes to being protected from a shaitan.
وأما الحرز الثاني,
as for the second protection,
واتباع سنة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم,
is following the sunnah of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
فكلما كان الناس أقرب إلى السنة كانوا أبعد عن الشياطين.
The closer a person is, the stronger he is on the sunnah, the further he is away from a shaitan.
ولذا إخوان نجد بكثرة السحر ينتشر في الأماكن التي يقل فيها التوحيد ويقل فيها اتباع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
And the Sheikh, he said, this is why you find in the places where people are not following the sunnah of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in those places you will find more evil.
فالأماكن التي ينتشر فيها التوحيد يقل فيها السحر.
And the place, the issue of magic, it spreads a lot where there's not tawheed.
ويقل فيها كذلك صرع الناس, الإصابة بالصرع.
And also where people are affected, where they've been affected by the devils, you don't find when there's less sunnah, tawheed, they'll be affected more.
بينما الأماكن التي تنتشر فيها البدع,
whereas if the place has a lot of innovation spread,
فإنه ينتشر كذلك الصراع بين الناس ودخول الشياطين عليهم.
Then you'll find that there will be problems between the people and there will be more impact by the shayateen.
أخواني, يقول لي أحد الذين كانوا يقرؤون على الناس ويخرجون الجن من الناس.
The Sheikh said a person told him, and this individual was an individual who used to exorcise people from the jinn.
يقول بأنه عندما كان يخرج الجن من الناس,
he said when he used to try to take the jinn out of the people,
ذكر له أحد الجن, ذكر له قصة.
one of the jinn mentioned to him a story.
يقول كانت هناك امرأة جميلة.
He said that there was a very beautiful woman.
وعندنا هنا في الكويت, كان عندنا في الكويت.
And this incident happened in Kuwait.
وهذا الشيخ كذاك في الكويت.
And this Sheikh, the one who did the reciting, he was in Kuwait as well.
يقول أتى أحدهم إلى الساحر.
So one of them, he said, one of them came to a magician.
فقال أنا أريد, هذا رجل من البشر, قال أريد هذه المرأة أن أسحرها.
And a man said, I want this lady, I want to put magic on her.
فطلب من الساحر أن يعمل له سحر لتلك المرأة.
So he requested from the magician to put magic on that lady.
لما؟
Why was that?
كانت مرأة شديدة الجمال.
Because the lady, she was extremely beautiful.
فاتصل هذا الساحر بالجن.
So this magician, he sought help from the jinn.
فطلب منهم أن يقوم بعمل معين من أجل لهذه المرأة حتى يحببوها بهذا الرجل.
So he requested from him to help him to do something to make that lady beloved to the man.
فأجابته الجن بأننا لا نستطيع.
They said, jinn said, no, I'm not able to do that, can't do it.
فقال كيف ولما؟
He said, why not?
قال هذه المرأة محاطة بأنوار غير طبيعية.
He said because this lady is being protected from things that are not natural.
ولا نستطيع أن نقترب منها.
And we don't have the ability to come close to her.
ولو اقتربنا لاحترقنا.
And if we come close to her, we find that we are burnt.
قال لما؟
He said, why is that?
قال وذاك لأنها امرأة صوامة قوامة.
Because she's a lady who fasts a lot and she's a lady who prays a lot.
فهذه المرأة تسير على طريق التوحيد ومتابعة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, ما نستطيع الاقتراب منها.
So because this lady was upon a tawheed and following the sunnah of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they were not able to come close to her or harm her.
فاحفظ الله يحفظك.
So the hadith said, remember Allah and Allah will remember you.
احفظ الله تجده تجاهك.
Remember Allah, you'll find him in front of you.
فإذا سألت فاسأل الله.
And if you ask Allah.
وإذا استعنت فاستعن بالله.
If you seek assistance, seek it from Allah.
واعلم أن الأمة
And you should know that all of the nation,
لو اجتمعت
if it came together
على أن يضروك
in order to harm you,
لم يضروك بشيء إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله لك.
they won't be able to harm you except with that which Allah wrote against you.
ولو اجتمعت على أن ينفعوك
If they came together in order to benefit you,
لم ينفعوك إلا بشيء كتبه الله لك.
they won't be able to benefit you except by that which Allah wrote in your favor.
الطريقة الثالثة
The third way to be protected from the shaitan,
اتخاذ إخوة لك في الله عز وجل
that you take some brothers, religious practicing people,
يعينونك في طريق الله عز وجل.
and they will help you in the way of Allah Azza wa Jal.
فإن زللت رفعوك
So if you fell down, they'll pick you up.
وإن ضللت قوموك.
And if you go astray, they'll bring you right back.
فحينئذ لا تستطيع الشياطين أن تقترب منك.
In this situation like this, Shaytan won't have the ability to come close to you.
لأنك حفظت طريق الله عز وجل وطريق النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Because you are upon and you protected the way of Allah and the way of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم.
الطريقة الثالثة
The
الرابعة
fourth point
وهو الاستعاذة بالله عز وجل من الشياطين.
is that you seek refuge in Allah Azza wa Jal from the Shaytan.
قال الله عز وجل
Allah said,
وإما ينزغنك من الشيطان نزغ
and if a threat comes to you from a Shaytan,
فاستعذ بالله
then seek refuge from Shaytan.
إنه هو السميع العليم.
And verily Allah, He is the one who is all hearing and all knowing.
فإن الله عز وجل يحفظك من وسوسة الشياطين
So Allah Azza wa Jalla will protect you from the plots and plans of the shayateen.
ويحفظك من تخويف الشياطين.
And He also will protect you from being afraid of him as well.
ولذا قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم
And for this reason, the Nabi, he said,
كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا دخل الخلاء
he, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, if he went to relieve himself,
كان يقول اللهم إني أعوذ بك من الخبث والخبائث.
he would say, oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from the khubth and the khaba'ith.
والخبث جمع الخبيث.
The word khubth is the plural of khabith,
وهو ذكر الشياطين.
and it's the male shayateen.
والخبائث هي إناث الشياطين.
And the khaba'ith are the females from the shayateen.
فإذا أراد إنسان أن يدخل الخلاء يقول اللهم إني أعوذ بك من الخبث والخبائث.
So if a person wanted to relieve himself and answer the call of nature, he seeks refuge in Allah from the khubth and the khaba'ith.
وذلك لأن الشياطين تنتشر في الحمامات.
And the reason for that is the shayateen, the devils, these are the places where they congregate, in the bathrooms and toilets.
تنتشر في أماكن النجاسات.
And the places of filth.
ولذا سمعت بأذني أحد
The Sheikh said, and I heard with my own ears that someone,
أحد المشايخ الذين كانوا يخرجون الجن من الناس,
one of the shuyukh who he knows who used to take the jinn out of people,
يقول عندما أخذ يخرج الجن من ذاك الطفل.
he said one time this Sheikh, he went to take the jinn out of a child.
عفوا كان يخرج الجن من المرأة.
He was taking the jinn out of a lady who had been affected.
يقول سألت هذا الجن ما الذي جعلك تدخل فيها؟
So the Sheikh asked the jinn who went in that lady, what caused you to go into the lady?
قال هي التي آذتني.
He said that the jinn said, she's the one who invited me.
قال وكيف آذتك؟
He said she didn't want this.
قال دخلت الخلاء فألقت الماء الحار على أطفالي كانوا في الخلاء كانوا متوزعين في الخلاء.
The jinn said that she came into the toilet, into the bathroom, and she threw hot water on my children.
قال وهي لم ترى أطفالك فكيف آذتك؟
So it was said to that jinn, she couldn't see your children, so why would you hurt her?
وكيف تعرف بأن أطفالك هنا؟
And how is it possible that she even knew that your children were in that place?
قال هل ذكرت الله لو ذكرت الله عز وجل لتنحينا نحن عن طريقه.
The jinn said she didn't mention Allah. When she came into the toilet, if she mentioned Allah, then we would have gotten out.
قال وذلك هذا مناسب لأن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان يستعيذ من شياطين الجن عند دخول الخلاء.
So the point here is, this is why the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to seek refuge in Allah Azza wa Jal from the male jinns and the female jinns when he entered into the toilet.
وكذلك الاستعاذة من شياطين الإنس استعاذ بالله عز وجل من شياطين الإنس.
And also one of the ways of protecting yourself is seeking the protection of Allah Azza wa Jal from the jinn, from the shayateen, and the jinn from the mankind.
كما قال الله عز وجل
As Allah mentioned,
إن الذين يجادلون في آيات الله
verily those people who argue concerning the ayat of Allah
بغير سلطان أتاهم
without any proof that has been given to them,
إن في صدورهم إلا كبر ما هم ببالغه.
verily in their hearts is nothing but arrogance, and they will never reach what they're trying to do.
فاستعذ بالله
So seek refuge in Allah.
إنه هو السميع البصير.
But verily Allah, He is the one who is all hearing, and He is the one who is all knowing.
ولذا مريم عليه السلام
And for this reason, Maryam alayhi salatu salam,
لما تمثل لها جبريل في صورة إنسان
when Jibril came to Maryam in the image of a man,
قالت إني أعوذ بالرحمن منك
she said, I seek refuge in Ar-Rahman from you,
إن كنت تقيا.
if you are from those who are righteous.
فالاستعاذة بالله تبارك وتعالى يعيذك الله عز وجل من الجن.
So seeking protection in Allah Azza wa Jal is one of the ways that a person can be protected and will be protected from the jinn.
الطريقة الرابعة
He said that the fourth way,
قراءة المعوذتين.
reading the last two surahs of the Quran.
المعوذتان تبدأان بقل أعوذ برب الفلق.
Both of these two surahs begin by saying, I seek refuge in Allah, the Lord of the Falaq.
قل أعوذ برب الناس.
And the other one says, say, I seek refuge in the Lord of mankind.
فتستعيذ بالله عز وجل من شر جميع المخلوقات.
So you're seeking refuge in Allah Azza wa Jal from all of the creation.
وتستعيذ بالله عز وجل من شياطين الإنس والجن.
And you're seeking refuge in Allah from being harmed by the shayateen and the jinn.
ولذا النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم سحر قبل نزول هاتين السورتين.
And it is known that the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, magic was performed upon him before these two surahs were revealed to him.
ولكن السحر لم يكن يؤثر على الشريعة النبوية.
But it should be known that the magic that was put on him was magic that did not have any impact on the Sharia.
وكان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قد سحر بأعظم أنواع السحر وأشد أنواع السحر.
And he had magic put on him, and it was from the strongest types and forms of magic.
لكنه أثر عليه تأثيرا يسيرا جدا.
But that strong type of magic only had a minute effect and impact upon him.
ما هو التأثير الذي أثر عليه؟
What was the effect of that strong magic upon him?
أنه يظن بأنه قد أتى أهله وهو لم يأتي أهله.
He used to think that he had relationships with his wives, with his wife, one of them, but that didn't actually happen.
وهذا لم يؤثر على الشريعة النبوية.
So you can see that this is something that didn't have any impact upon the Sharia itself.
إلى أن نزل عليه جبريل.
And then Jibril came down to him.
فأخبره بأنه مسحور.
And he informed the Nabi that he had magic put on him.
وأن الذي سحره رجل من اليهود.
And that the one who put the magic upon him was a man from the Jews.
وبين له مكان وجود السحر.
And he explained to him the place of the magic.
فذهب النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وأخرج هذا السحر من بئر.
So the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam went and he took the magic from out of a well.
وكان قد سحر بمشط وشعر من النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في هذا المشط قد وضع في هذا البئر.
And what had happened was there was a comb that has some of the hair of the Nabi in it, and they put the magic on him and put it in the well.
فأخرجه النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
So the Nabi, the Rasul, took it out of the well.
فذهب عنه السحر.
And the magic was taken off of him.
فنزلت بعد ذلك المعوذتان.
And after that, those two surahs were revealed.
فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
So he says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam,
ما تعوذ بمثلهما متعوذ.
He said that anyone who uses these two surahs to seek refuge in Allah,
ما تعوذ مثلهما متعوذ.
that no one sought refuge in Allah with anything better than these two.
ولذا كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقرأ المعوذتين بعد كل صلاة.
And for this reason, he used to read these two surahs after each and every prayer.
ويقرأ النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم المعوذتين إذا أصبح ثلاثا وإذا أمسى ثلاثا.
And he used to, if he woke up, he would read it 3 times, and if the nighttime came, he would read it 3 times.
فيقرأهما بعد صلاة في الوقت الصباح بعد صلاة الفجر.
So in the morning time, he would read it after Salat al-Fajr.
ويقرأهما بعد صلاة العصر وهو وقت المساء.
And he would read it after Salat al-Asr, which is the time of al-Masa, the night time,
ويقرأهما ثلاثا.
the evening time, and he would read it 3 times.
بل كذلك كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا اشتكى إذا مرض بشيء ما كان يقرأهما ثلاثا عند النوم.
He also, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, if he became sick and something was bothering him, he would read these 2 surahs before going to sleep.
فكان يقرأ النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كما قال الزهري ينفث هكذا ثم يمسح على جسده.
He used to read, as Al-Imam al-Zuhri said, he would read and he would read in his hands and then spin in his hands and then wipe, after reading, wipe as much of his body as possible.
فيقرأ سورة الإخلاص 3 وسورة الفلق 3 وسورة الناس 3.
He would read Surah Al-Ikhlas 3 times and then the last 2 surahs 3 times apiece.
فهي بإذن الله عز وجل يعيذك الله عز وجل من السحر ومن العين ومن الشياطين ومن دخول الشياطين.
And by the permission of Allah, if someone were to do this, Allah would protect them from the evil eye, from magic, from the shayateen, and from being attacked by them.
يخبرني أحد الأشخاص
One of the people told the Sheikh,
وهو يعيش وحده في البيت.
and this person who told him this, he lives by himself in the house.
عندما كنت عنده في ليلة من الليالي
One time the Sheikh was visiting him one night.
قال لي منذ 3 أيام
He said, since 3 days, for the past 3 days,
كنت نائما
I was sleeping.
وفي منتصف الليل
And in the middle of the night,
سمعت صوتا من بعيد يقترب مني.
I heard a voice from far away coming close to me.
يقول فشعرت فخفت.
So the man said that he became afraid.
وكلما مر الوقت اقتربت مني هذه المجموعة وسمعت لها أصواتا.
And as time went on, the voice kept coming closer and closer to him.
يقول فخشيت أن أرفع رأسي.
He says, so he became afraid even to raise his head up
إلى أن اقتربوا عند رأسي.
until it came close to his head.
قال فقرأت المعوذات.
He says, so he read these surahs that were mentioned,
وكررتها 3.
and he read them and repeated them 3 times.
يقول ثم ذهب الصوت وذهب كل شيء.
He said, and then the voices, they disappeared, and all of that, everything left.
يقول النبي فعلا كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ما تعوذ مثله ما متعوذ.
So it shows and it indicates the reality of what the Prophet said, that no one ever sought refuge with anything better than these last 2 surahs.
وقد استعذت بالله عز وجل.
So therefore, this is something that we should do.
الطريقة السادسة
So the 6th way of protecting yourself from the shaitan
أن تقرأ آية الكرسي
is the recitation of Ayatul Kursi,
كما روى البخاري
as Imam al-Bukhari narrated
عن أبي هريرة رضي الله
on
تعالى
the
عنه
authority of Abu Huraira,
أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قد جعله أمينا على صدقة الفطر.
that the Nabi made Abu Huraira responsible for the sadaqah of al-fitr.
وهذا قبل العيد بأيام. قبل العيد بأيام.
And this issue was before the day of the Eid.
يقول فأتى رجل في الليل فسرق من هذه الصدقة.
So Abu Huraira said that a man came during the night time and he stole from the sadaqah.
قال فأمسكت به.
So he grabbed him.
فقال لي دعني فإن لي أشخاص فإن لي أبناء وأنا وحيدهم.
The man said, hey, let me go, Abu Huraira, because I'm just a poor person. Just let me go.
لو أخذه إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وقطع يده من الذي سيعيل أسرته.
Because he has children. And if Abu Huraira were to take him to the Nabi and he stole something, he could have his hand cut off. Who's going to help his children?
قال فترك الشيء المسروق ثم ذهب فأخذت عليه العهد ألا يعود.
So he let him go, but he didn't let him go until he took his word, a promise that he won't come back again.
فعندما أصبحت مع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في صلاة الفجر.
So Abu Huraira said after the Salat of al-Fajr, he was with the Nabi.
فقال له النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ما فعل صاحبك.
The Prophet said to Abu Huraira, what did your companion, what did that man do?
فأخبره أبو هريرة بأن رجلا أتى وأراد أن يسرق فقص له القصة.
So he told him the story of what happened the previous night.
فقال له النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم سيعود.
The Nabi said he's going to come back again.
قال فتربصت به لقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
So he found that weird, but he was going to wait for this thing to happen.
وفعلا يقول أتى كما أخبر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
And he said, in fact, it happened just as the Prophet said it would happen.
فعندما أراد أن يسرق قال أمسكت به.
So when the man wanted to steal the second time, Abu Huraira grabbed him.
فأخذ يبكي ويستعطفني أن أتركه من أجل أبنائه.
So the man began to plead with Abu Huraira, and he was playing on his emotions, telling him about his children, asking him to let him go.
فقلت له فأخذ عليه العهد ألا يعود بعد هذا اليوم.
Abu Huraira took from him another promise that he wouldn't come back again.
فقال لن أعود.
He said, okay, I won't come back.
فعندما أصبح
The next day when Abu Huraira woke up,
قال له النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ما فعل أسيرك.
the Prophet asked him, what did your prisoner do yesterday?
فقص عليه القصة.
So he told the Nabi the story.
قال وسيعود.
The Prophet said he's going to come back again.
قال فتربصت به ثالثة.
He said, so I smiled, I looked forward to this.
وفعلا أتى للسرقة.
And it actually happened. He came again a third time to steal.
قال فأمسكت به.
He said, I grabbed him.
فأخذ يبكي ويستعطفني.
And the man again started to play on my emotions.
فقلت له لا أدعك حتى آتي بك إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
So he said, I'm not going to let you go until I take you to the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
فقال له هذا الرجل.
So that man who was trying to steal said to him,
إني أعلمك كلمات.
I will teach you some words.
لو قلتها.
If you were to say these words,
فلا يقربك شيطان.
the shaitan won't come close to you.
قال وما هو؟
He said, what are those words?
قال آية الكرسي.
He said, Ayatul Kursi.
اقرأ آية الكرسي قبل النوم لا يقربك شيطان.
Read Ayatul Kursi before you go to bed and shaitan won't come close to you.
قال فتركته.
So he said, as a result of that, Abu Hurairah let him go.
فعندما أصبحت.
In the morning,
قال له النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ما فعل
the
صاحب.
Prophet said, what did your companion do? That man do?
فقال رسول الله قال لي كذا وكذا.
He told the Prophet, he said this, he said that.
فقال له النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم صدقك وهو كذوب.
The Nabi said, he told you the truth and he's a chronic liar.
أي فعلا كما قال لا يزال عليك من قال له الشيطان.
The shaitan said to him,
قال لا يزال عليك من الله حافظ ما قرأته.
He said, if you read Ayatul Kursi, then there will not cease to be upon you, with you, a protector as long as you read those ayat, that ayat. And the Prophet said, he told the truth in this instance, but he is a pathological liar. So therefore, Ikhwan, the point is, anyone who reads Ayatul Kursi, the shaitan won't come close to him. And he also will not cease to have a protector with him from Allah. The seventh way is that you read the last ayat from Surah Al-Baqarah.
يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في حديث البخاري.
And that's because our Prophet said in Sahih al-Bukhari, the hadith,
من قرأ آخر آيتين من سورة البقرة,
whoever reads the last two ayat from Surah al-Baqarah
في ليلة,
in any night,
كفتاه أي تكفيه من كل شيء.
Those two ayat will be more than enough for him for everything.
من شر شياطين الإنس,
from the evil and the harm of the shayateen of mankind,
ومن شر شياطين الجن,
and from the evil of the shayateen of the jinn,
ومن شر الهوام وشر الحيوانات,
and from the evil of things that are harmful.
كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كفتاه أطلقها أي كفتاه من كل شيء.
So when the Prophet said it would be enough for him from everything, it was a general statement.
لما?
Why is that?
وذاك إخوان لو قرأناها,
that's because, Ikhwani, if we were to read these two ayat,
لوجدنا فيها أشياء العظيمة.
we would find in these two ayat some great issues.
وجدنا فيها الكنوز العظيمة.
We find in it many treasures.
آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه.
The ayah said the Rasul believes in what was revealed to him by his Lord.
والمؤمنون,
and the believers believe in it.
كل آمن, الكل قد آمن بماذا?
All of them believe in it. They believe in what?
آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله.
They believe in Allah, they believe in the malaika, they believe in the books, they believe in the messengers.
لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله.
And we don't make any distinctions between the messengers.
وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا.
And they say we hear and we obey.
أي نحن نطيعك يا ربنا في كل شيء.
Meaning we obey you, our Lord, in everything.
غفرانك ربنا يطلب مغفرتك العامة الشاملة التامة.
Oh, forgive us, our Lord. Forgive us the general forgiveness from every and anything.
وإليك المصير.
And unto you is the return.
إليك تنتهي الأمور بيدك كل شيء.
And to you is the end and the final destination of all things.
لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها.
Allah does not burden a soul beyond his scope.
لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت.
It will get what it did, and on it is the responsibility of what it put forth.
فتقول ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا وأخطأنا.
They said, oh our Lord, don't hold us accountable if we forget or if we make mistakes.
فكل أخطائنا ربنا اغفرها لنا.
So all of our mistakes that we make, we're asking Allah to forgive us.
وهل تتسلط عليك المخلوقات إلا بسبب ذنبك؟
And has the creation come against you except as a result of the mistakes and the sins that you've made?
فأنت طلبت من الله عز وجل يتجاوز عنك عما وقع.
So with these ayat, when you read them, you're asking Allah Ta'ala to overlook and to pardon you for the mistakes that you've made.
ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من
And
قبلنا.
oh our Lord, do not make us over us a burden that we don't have the ability to carry.
أي لا تحمل علينا ثقلا عظيما لا نستطيع أن نتحمله.
Don't put a responsibility, a heaviness on us that we don't have the ability to bear.
ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا.
And don't put on us something we don't have the strength to carry.
واعف عنا أي لا تترك أثرا لأخطائنا
And
وذنوبنا.
forgive us without leaving any impact of any sin that we've done.
واغفر لنا أي استر أخطاءنا استر عيوبنا وأظهر جمائلنا.
And also cover up and conceal those mistakes and put forth and make apparent the good things that we did.
وارحمنا أي لا تسلط علينا أي شيء فاجعلنا في رحمتك.
And make us of those that you put your rahmah upon.
أنت مولانا نحن في ولايتك.
You are our protector. Our protection is with you.
فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين.
And help us over the people who are disbelievers.
فحينئذ يكون في حرز من الله في حرز من الشيطان في حرز الله عز وجل من الشيطان.
So by reading these two ayat and all of what they entail, it puts a person within the protection of Allah Azza wa Jalla from the shayateen.
الطريقة الثامنة.
The 8th way
الإكثار من التهليل.
is
من التهليل من قول لا إله إلا الله.
for the person to continuously say La ilaha illallah.
كما قال يونس عليه السلام.
As Yunus said,
عندما ألقي في البحر.
when he was thrown in the water in the ocean,
التقمه الحوت.
the well came and swallowed him up.
فأصبح في ظلمة بطن الحوت.
And he found himself in the darkness of the stomach of the well.
وفي ظلمة الليل.
And it was also in the nighttime.
وفي ظلمة البحار.
And it was also in the deep darkness in the depth of the ocean.
ولا يوجد أحد من الخلق ينجيه.
And there was no one there from creation to help him out, to save him.
فقال لا إله إلا أنت.
So he said, there is no God worthy of worship except you.
سبحانك.
Glory unto you.
إني كنت من الظالمين.
Verily I was from those who did wrong.
يقول الله عز وجل فاستجبنا له.
Allah Ta'ala said, so we answered his dua.
سمعه الله.
Allah heard his dua.
من الذي بقربه حتى ينجيه؟
Who was close to him to help him?
من الذي سيعينه؟
Who's the one who's going to assist him?
من الذي سيخلصه؟
Who's going to free him from his condition?
لا يوجد مخلوق يستطيع أن يخلصه.
There was no creation around to help him.
لكن الله عز وجل يسمع.
But Allah Azza wa Jalla was the one who was there to help him.
قال فاستجبنا له.
So Allah said, so we answered his dua.
ونجيناه من الغم.
And we saved him from the condition that he was in.
وكذلك ننجي المؤمنين.
And this is how we will save and deal with the believers.
روى البخاري ومسلم.
And Imam al-Bukhari and Muslim in their books, they brought
أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال
the hadith that the Prophet, he says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam,
من قال لا إله إلا الله
whoever says La ilaha illallah,
وحده لا شريك له
he is alone and he doesn't have any partners.
له الملك
To Allah belongs the dominion
وله الحمد
and the praise.
وهو على كل شيء
And
قدير.
he's able to do everything.
في يوم 100 مرة
If someone said these words in a day 100 times,
كانت له عدل 10 رقاب أي كأنما أعتق 10 رقاب.
it would be as if he has freed 10 slave people.
وكتب له 100 حسنة.
And it would be written for him 100 hasana.
ومحيت عنه 100 سيئة.
And 100 sins would be raised off of him.
وكانت له حرزا من الشيطان من يومه ذاك.
And if he said that 100 times, he will have a divine protection from the shaitan for that particular day.
حتى يمسي.
Until the nighttime comes, the evening.
ولم يأتي أحد بأفضل مما جاء.
And no one would have said better than what he said 100 times.
إلا رجل أتى بمثله.
Except that the person said the similar number of what he did.
فإذا أكثر من التهليل وقل 100 مرة تكون حينئذ في حرز من الشيطان وفي حرز من العين وفي حرز من الحسد.
So therefore, ikhwani, if we say La ilaha illallah and all of this what was mentioned, you will have a protection from the evil eye, a protection from the shayateen, the protection from that which will harm you.
الطريقة التاسعة.
The 9th way.
طبعا هنا الطريقة الثامنة تقول ما علاقة لا إله إلا الله بالحرز من الشيطان.
A person in the 8th way says, what is the connection with La ilaha illallah with being protected from the shayateen?
وذلك أنك وحدت الله عز وجل.
The reason for that is that you made and you singled out Allah and you called the monotheism of Allah Azza wa Jalla.
التوحيد هو الذي يحفظ العبد.
So it's the tawheed in the issue that is protecting you.
وهو الذي يحفظ العبد من شياطين الإنس وشياطين الجن.
And it is the thing, a tawheed, that protects the slave from the shayateen of the mankind and from the jinn kind.
الطريقة التاسعة.
The 9th way.
هو التسمية على الأشياء. قل
is
بسم الله.
that you say Bismillah over things and upon things.
كما قال عز وجل.
As Allah said,
سبح اسم ربك الأعلى.
Glorify the name of your Lord, the Most High.
ولذا قال الله عز وجل.
And Allah also said,
تبارك اسم ربك. إذا ذكرت اسم الله عز وجل فكل شيء تبارك.
Blessed is the name of your Lord. So when you mention the name of Allah upon something, it puts barak and blessings in that thing.
تبارك اسم ربك ذي الجلال والإكرام.
Glory, blessed is the name of our Lord, and He is the one who is mighty and the one who is powerful.
ولذا النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
And for this reason, the Prophet ﷺ,
إذا أراد أن يأكل قال بسم الله.
if he wanted to eat something, he would say Bismillah.
ودائما كذلك يذكر اسم الله عز وجل حتى في الجماع.
And he used to even mention Allah in everything, like even when he wanted to have relations with his wife.
ولذا قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
And for this reason, he said,
من قال
whoever says
بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء.
in the name of Allah, the one who nothing would hurt him, nothing would hurt him along with Allah's name.
بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في الأرض ولا في السماء.
Nothing will be able to hurt in the name of Allah, who nothing in the heavens and the earth will hurt that individual.
وهو السميع العليم.
And He is the one who is all hearing, all knowing.
ثلاثا.
Whoever says that 3 times.
لم يضره شيء حتى يمسي. إذا قال هذا أصبح لم يضره حتى يمسي.
If he says that in the morning, nothing will hurt him until the evening time.
ولذا إذا أتيت مكان إذا أصبحت قل بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء.
So if you wake up in the morning and you say this dua,
وإذا أمسيت قله كذلك.
and then when the evening time comes you say that same dua,
فحينئذ لا تمس بشيء بإذن الله.
if this happens, inshallah, you do that, nothing will touch you, nothing will harm you.
يذكر العلماء قصة أحد الصالحين.
The scholars, they mention a story of some people who were religious.
كان معتادا يقول هذا الذكر إذا أصبح وإذا أمسى.
They were used to saying this particular dhikr if they woke up, also during the evening time.
وفي يوم من الأيام كان في الخلاء يقضي حاجته.
And one day the man was answering the call of nature, one of them.
ودخل عليه المساء وهو في الخلاء.
And a woman came to him while he was answering the call of nature.
فاستعجل وأراد الخروج.
So he started to speed up so that because he wanted to finish and get out.
ليقول هذا الذكر قبل أن يحصل له شيء. خرج من أراد استعجل الخروج من الخلاء.
So he wanted to hurry up to finish what he was doing.
حتى يقول هذا الدعاء.
So that he can say that particular dua.
لأنه دخل عليه المساء.
Because the night time, not a lady, the night time came to him. So he wanted to hurry up so he can say the dua before the evening came.
قبل أن يصاب بشيء.
Before something would hurt or harm him.
قال فعند الخروج زلق هذا الرجل.
So when he was finishing and he was coming out, he slipped and fell.
قبل أن يقول هذا الدعاء.
Before he said the dua.
فقال سبحان الله لم يقل هذا الدعاء فحصل له ما حصل.
He said if he didn't say the dua, so as a result of that, what happened actually happened to him.
ولذا النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
And for this reason, the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم,
ذكر بأن الرجل إذا دخل وذكر اسم الله.
he mentioned that if a person comes into his house and he mentions Allah's name.
وأغلق الباب وقال بسم الله.
And he locks and closes the door and he says Allah's name.
فإن الشيطان لا يفتح بابا مغلقا.
The shaitan doesn't have the ability to open up a door that's been closed and locked.
وإذا قال بسم الله أثناء مع الطعام.
And if he says Bismillah while before eating,
فإن الشيطان لا يأكل معه.
the shaitan doesn't have the ability to eat with him.
فحينئذ إذا لم يسمي الله عز وجل.
But if he doesn't mention Allah's name,
وإذا لم يسمي الله عند الطعام.
when he's eating,
عند دخول البيت وعند الطعام.
when he comes into his house and when he's eating,
لم يسمي الله عز وجل.
he didn't mention Allah's name.
فحينئذ الشيطان وجد فندق كما يقال كامل.
Now the shaitan, he has a hotel because he has a place to sleep and he has food to eat.
لكنك إذا ذكرت اسم الله تبارك وتعالى.
But if you mention the name of Allah Azza wa Jal,
فإن الشيطان لا يستطيع دخول البيت ولا يستطيع الأكل معك.
that shaitan, he doesn't have the ability to enter your house, your dwelling, nor does he have the ability or the power to eat from your food.
يقول سمعت كذاك الشيخ الذي كان يخرج الجن من الناس.
The Sheikh, he heard from another Sheikh who took that man was taking the jinn out of people.
وكانوا قد أتوا إليه بطفل صغير يعني في 7 في 8 قد تلبسته الجن.
Someone brought to that Sheikh a child who was about 7, 8 years old. The jinn were affecting the child.
وكان يسعى لإخراج هذا الجن من هؤلاء.
And the man was trying to take and exorcise the jinn from the little child.
فأخذ يكلم هذا الجن.
So the man began to talk to the jinn that was inside of him.
فسأله لماذا دخلت فيه؟
And he said to him, why did you enter into the little child?
قال هو أذاني.
He said, well, he's the one who came to me.
قال وكيف أذاك؟
He said, how did he come to you?
قال أخذ حجرا فألقاه.
He said the little child took a rock and he threw it.
قال وأين ألقاه؟
He said, where did he throw it?
قال أتى إلى الصحراء فأخذ حجرا فألقاه.
He came to the desert and he had the rock and he threw the rock.
قال وكيف هو لم يقصدك ولم يرك؟
He said he didn't see you, he didn't intend to hit you, he didn't mean to do that.
فكيف يعرف بأنك موجود وأن أحدا موجودا؟
So how in the world, how does he know that you're there or you're not there?
قال لو أنه سمى الله عز وجل لما وقفنا في طريق.
He said if he would have mentioned Allah before doing it, then nothing would have happened.
سبحان الله أحيانا في مثل هذه الأحداث تصدق أحاديث النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
So subhanallah, these types of incidents and accidents, they show the reality of the statement that the Prophet said about mentioning the name of Allah over things.
الطريقة العاشرة.
The 10th way of protecting yourself from the shayateen.
وهو حبس الأولاد عند غروب الشمس.
Is that when the sun goes down at Maghrib time, that you bring your children in.
النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
The Nabi, he says sallallahu alaihi wasallam,
قال إذا أذن المغرب وإذا غربت الشمس وأذن المغرب.
If the sun goes down and the adhan of al-Maghrib is mentioned,
فأمسكوا صبيانكم.
then bring your children in and grab them.
فإن الشياطين تنتشر.
For verily at that time the shayateen are spreading out, going out.
فإذا ذهبت فوحة العشاء.
So if the time of Isha came and it went,
فحينئذ أطلقوا.
the Prophet said, okay, at that time let them go.
أي كأنه عند دخول المغرب.
So what it means is at the time of Maghrib,
حال شياطين الجن.
the condition of the shayateen and the jinn at that time
بالانتشار.
is that they're spreading all about the place.
كانتشار الصغار إذا خرجوا من المدرسة في حال انتهاء الدوام.
So it's like when that time comes, you have the shayateen and the jinn at that specific time spreading out and going forth like when the people come out of the school.
ثم بعد ذاك بعد فترة الكل يأخذ مكانه.
And then after that time, after the Maghrib, the time goes away, the shayateen, they take their places.
بعد ذاك تستطيع أن تطلق صبيانك.
And then after that time, the Maghrib goes by, you can let your children go out.
يخبرني أحد كذلك الأشخاص اللي كانوا يخرجون الجن.
Someone told the Sheikh, another man who used to take the jinn out of the people.
يقول عندما كنت أخاطب الجن عندما كنت أخرج الجن.
He said while he was taking the jinn out of a particular person,
أخذت أسأله بعض الأسئلة.
he said I started to ask the jinn different questions.
قلت له ما هو الوقت الذي تنتشرون فيه؟
He said to the jinn, when is the time that you jinn are running about and moving about?
بحيث يتجنبكم الإنسان.
The time in which the human beings are actually in a position to come close, the time where the human beings should stay away from you.
قال عند غروب الشمس فإننا ننتشر في كل مكان.
And that jinn told him, when the sun goes down, that is the time when we're all about.
وفي هذا الوقت غالبا ما ندخل في الناس إذا آذونا.
The Sheikh said, and usually during this particular time, this is the time when the people are moving about.
فلذا نحفظ صغارنا عند دخول وقت المغرب.
So therefore, Ikhwani, it's our responsibility to protect our youngsters at this particular time specifically.
فإذا كانوا يلعبون في هذا الوقت نأخذهم وندخلهم البيوت أو نأتي بهم إلى المساجد.
So if you found them outside or something during this particular time, bring them inside of the house or bring them into the place of worship.
الطريقة الحادية عشر.
The 11th way
هو قراءة سورة البقرة.
is to read the chapter Al-Baqarah.
روى البخاري عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه.
Al-Bukhari narrated a hadith of Abu Huraira
أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال
that the Prophet, he said,
لا تجعلوا بيوتكم قبورا.
don't make your homes, don't turn them into graves.
وإن البيت الذي تقرأ فيه سورة البقرة
For verily the house in which Surah Al-Baqarah is read inside of it,
لا يدخله الشيطان.
the shaitan cannot enter into that house.
لا سيما إذا صاحبتها سورة كذاك آل عمران.
Especially if also along with it was read Surah Ali Imran.
كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
As the Nabi said,
فإنهما لا تستطيعهما البطلة أي السحرة.
because these two, it makes it impossible for the magicians to work anything against you.
وفعلا كان هناك بيت ملاصق لبيتنا.
And the Sheikh said one time there was a house that was connected to our own house.
وأصحاب هذا البيت يشتكون دائما من أصوات في السطح.
And the people who lived in that house, the neighbors, they used to always complain about voices that they used to hear on top of the roof.
في منتصف الليل يسمعون كأن حركة طاولات وحركة كراسي وغير ذلك.
In the middle of the night, just like that, they would start hearing that chairs are moving and all kind of commotion was going on.
فمكثوا على سنوات. مكثوا سنوات على هذا
And that was the condition in the neighbor's house for many, many years.
فاستدعوا شيخا.
So they invited the Sheikh to come.
فأخذ يقرأ سورة البقرة في هذا المكان مدة 3 ليال.
So the Sheikh came and he started to read Surah Al-Baqarah for 3 days around in that house.
فانقطع هذا الصوت بتاتا عندما قرأ سورة البقرة مدة 3 أيام.
And after he read Surah Al-Baqarah, the voices dissipated and disappeared.
وكذلك حصل أن شابة كانت جميلة.
There was also an incident where there was a young girl who was an attractive, beautiful young girl.
وكان كلما تقدم إليها شخص للزواج.
Every time someone came, a potential person to marry her,
حصلت مشكلة فبعد ذلك لا تتم عملية الزواج.
some problem would happen where the marriage, for some reason, wouldn't go forward.
فشك أهل هذه البنت بأنه ربما حصل نوع من الجن أو نوع من الحسد.
So the family of that lady, of that girl, they started to say and complain, there's something that's going on. It has something to do with evil eye, the jinn, something is wrong with this.
فأخبروا ذاك الشيخ.
So they told that sheikh who read on the house of the neighbor
حصل لنا كذا وكذا.
that this thing is happening with this girl from our family.
فنصحهم بأمر.
So he gave them advice to do something.
قال في كل ليلة.
He said every night,
اقرأوا سورة البقرة.
read Surah Al-Baqarah.
اقرأوها بشكل متتابع، يعني منكم الأول يقرأ ربع حزب والثاني ربع حتى تنتهوا من سورة البقرة.
So all of the family members take a part of the Surah Al-Baqarah and try to read all of it.
وخذوا ماء ثم انفثوا في هذا الماء.
And then take some water after reading it and spit in the water, breathe into the water.
واقرأوا المعوذات كذلك.
And also read the last 2 surahs of the Quran.
وآية الكرسي وآخر آيتين، وطبعا آية الكرسي مقروءة في سورة البقرة لكن قرأوها 3 وآمن الرسول 3.
And read the last 2 ayahs from Surah Al-Baqarah and Ayatul Kursi 3 times. Although they're from Baqarah, but read those specifically 3 more times.
وقرأوا الفاتحة.
And Al-Fatiha, read it.
وهكذا مدة 3 أيام.
And do that for the duration of 3 days.
قال بإذن الله سينقطع كل هذا.
He said, inshallah, all of this stuff is going to stop.
وفعلا فعلوا هذا الأمر.
And they did it, and it actually happened.
بعدها تقدم إليها رجل.
After that, a man came to seek the girl's hand in marriage.
وتزوجت والحمد لله الآن بخير.
And they got married, and everything was happy after that.
الحمد لله سورة البقرة فعلا كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تستطيعها البطلة.
So, as the Prophet says, Surah Al-Baqarah, nothing is going to harm or affect the individual, inshallah.
الطريقة الأخيرة 12.
The last way, number 12, to protect yourself from the shayateen.
وهو يجمع كل ما سبق.
And is that you put together everything that we've mentioned.
وهو الإكثار من ذكر الله عز وجل.
Everything we mentioned, the last one is that you remember Allah a lot.
كما روى الترمذي
as it was narrated by Imam al-Tirmidhi
أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ذكر قصة عيسى عليه السلام ويحيى عليه السلام.
that the Nabi, he mentioned the story of Isa and Yahya.
وأن الله عز وجل أمر عيسى أن يبلغ الناس.
And Allah in this story told Isa, go forth and tell the people.
فلما تأخر عيسى في تبليغ الناس هذه المسائل الخمس.
So he told him to go and tell the people about 5 issues.
قال تأخر في بيان هذا الأمر.
He didn't do it immediately.
فأتى يحيى عليه السلام إلى عيسى عليه السلام.
So Yahya came to Isa.
قال إن لم تبلغها الناس فإن الله عز وجل أمرني أن أبلغها الناس.
He said, if you don't tell the people about these 5 things, Isa, then I'm going to tell the people Allah commanded me to.
فوقف عيسى أخذ يذكر الناس بهذه الأمور الخمس.
So Isa stood and he began to remind the people of these 5 issues.
عفوا المسألة أن يحيى عليه السلام هو الذي أمر فعيسى عليه السلام هو الذي.
So what had happened is that Allah Azza wa Jal told Yahya to go and tell the people about these 5 issues, and Yahya didn't do it immediately. So Isa came to Yahya and said, if you don't tell the people about it, then Allah has commanded me and I'm going to go and do it. So he began to tell the people about these 5 issues.
من هذه الأمور.
And from these 5 issues that were mentioned,
عندما جمع بني إسرائيل,
when he gathered Bani Israel together,
فقال لهم وآمركم أن تذكروا الله.
He said, and I order you people to remember Allah.
فإن مثل ذلك مثل ذكر الله عز
For
وجل.
verily the example of the one who mentions Allah
كمثل رجل
is like the example of a man
خرج العدو في أثره سراعا.
who was running and his enemies were chasing him and they were going really fast.
حتى أتى هذا الرجل حتى أتى على حصن حصين.
And then the man who was running from his enemy came to a fortress.
فأحرز نفسه منهم.
So he went inside of that fortress and he closed it and protected himself in that fortress from his enemies.
وكذلك العبد
And also the slave.
لا يحرز نفسه من الشيطان إلا بذكر الله تعالى.
He cannot make a fortress for himself to protect himself from the shaitan except by the remembrance of Allah.
فالإكثار من ذكر الله تبارك وتعالى.
So making a lot of dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jal
يحرز العبد من شياطين الإنس ومن شياطين
will
الجن.
divinely protect the person from the harms of the shayateen of the ins and the jinn.
إذن باختصار طريقة الأولى
So ikhwani, very quickly, the first way
الالتصاق بجناب الله عز وجل وتوحيده.
is that we are upon the tawheed of Allah Azza wa Jal and the worship of Allah by Himself.
متابعة سنة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وترك البدع.
Number two, following the sunnah and leaving off innovation.
الأمر الثالث بحث عن إخوة يعينونك على هذا الطريق.
Number three, get some brothers, companions who will help you on the way.
طريقة الرابعة الاستعاذة بالله عز وجل
Number
من
four,
الشيطان.
seeking the protection of Allah Azza wa Jal from the shayateen.
الطريقة الخامسة قراءة معوذتين.
Number five, reading the last two surahs of the Quran.
السادسة آية الكرسي.
Number six, reading Ayatul Kursi.
آخر آيتين من سورة البقرة هذه السابعة.
Number seven, reading the last two ayahs of Surah Al-Baqarah.
الإكثار من التهليل لا إله إلا الله وحده
Number
لا
eight,
شريك
saying
له.
La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah.
له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير. الطريقة الثامنة التسمية.
Number eight, saying Bismillah over things.
والطريقة العاشرة قراءة سورة البقرة.
Number 10, reading Surah Al-Baqarah.
والحادية عشر إمساك الصبيان عند غروب الشمس.
Number 11, bringing your children in when the Maghrib time comes.
والثانية عشر الإكثار من ذكر الله تعالى.
And number 12, the general remembrance of Allah as much as possible.
الحمد لله رب العالمين.
And all praises are due to Allah Azza wa Jal. Ikhwani, we want to remind you before we do a few questions, inshallah, from the floor tomorrow at 4:45. We'll begin the first lecture, and it will be dealing with the assassination of Uthman radiyallahu anhu. So that's going to be from 4:45 until 5:45, and it's the first program for tomorrow. We encourage and we invite everybody to attend. So if you brothers have any questions concerning the dars, you can put your question forward.
حديث النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم حديث عام.
The hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the brother said, the Sheikh mentioned that the hadith, if you read Surah Al-Baqarah, if a person reads Surah Al-Baqarah, it'll expel the shayateen, prevent them from coming to the house. What if it's on a CD, a disc? What is the case there? So the Sheikh said, the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his words are general.
وذاك النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال.
And for that, what he said, the Prophet said was,
وإن البيت الذي تقرأ فيه.
He said the house in which Al-Baqarah is read.
تقرأ فيه سورة البقرة لا يدخله شيطان.
He said if it is read, Shaytan won't enter into that house.
فما قال الذي أنت تقرأ فيه.
And the hadith didn't say the house in which you read. It said the house which Baqarah is read.
ولذلك إذا قرأت فيه إن شاء الله يتحقق.
So inshallah, if Surah Al-Baqarah is read this way or other than this way, the issue will happen, the protection will happen.
أفضل أن تقرأ أنت.
But what is better is for you, the human being, to read it yourself.
الإنسان يستشعر أثناء القراءة ويكون له أثر كبير.
So that the person himself will feel the effects and the benefits of the recitation.
كما قال ابن القيم.
For that reason, Imam Ibn al-Qayyim, he said,
يقول بأن الدعاء ينفع بأمور ثلاثة.
The dua benefits three things. They benefit with three things.
يقول كحالة السهم.
He said it's like when you shoot the arrow.
لابد أن يكون الرامي رجل يصيب.
The man who is shooting the arrow has to know what he's doing.
ولا بد أن يكون السهم كذلك قد بري وقد يعني أصلح للإصابة.
So the guy who's shooting himself got to know what he's doing. And the arrow, number 2, the arrow has to be effective. The arrow has to be sharp and it has to be straight.
وكذلك الجهة التي ستوجه إليها السهم قابلة لهذا السهم.
And number 3, in order for him to be successful, is the direction in which he's shooting at. It has to be a direction where it's possible to shoot in the first place.
فسورة البقرة هي تصيب كالسهم تماما.
So Surah Al-Baqarah, it is like the arrow.
لكن تحتاج إلى أن يكون قارئ يستشعر هذه السورة.
But it needs the reader who's going to read it and he's going to feel the effect and the impact of the recitation itself.
حينئذ يصاحبك شعور وخشوع يؤثر كذلك هذا على تحقيق النتيجة.
So inshallah, if the person read it himself, the feel that he gets after reading it, the meaning of the surah, inshallah, that will help the impact of what the Nabi said. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Okay, Ikhwani, we're going to stop here, inshallah, to prepare for Salat al-Isha. But here's a question here. The person wants to know, the Sheikh, is it possible that the Sheikh can give advice to the Shabab, especially those people who are married to Muslim women who are not Muslims in the West? What does the Sheikh have to say about this for our people?
طبعا أول نقطة من ناحية الزواج من غير المسلمات.
Sheikh said first thing is marrying women who are not Muslims.
لابد أن تكون أولا كتابية.
She has to be a lady from Ahlul Kitab.
إما أن تكون من النصارى أو تكون
either a Christian or a Jew.
الأمر الثاني.
Number 2.
ألا تكون امرأة زانية أي تمارس العهر والعياذ بالله العهر والزنا.
She can't be a woman who is known to committing fornication. Even if she's from Ahlul Kitab, she can't be a known fornicator.
أما إذا كانت مرأة تمارس الزنا والعياذ بالله فلا يجوز له أن يتزوجها لا مسلمة ولا غير مسلمة.
If she was Ahlul Kitab and she's doing zina, you can't marry her. Even if she was a Muslim and she was doing that, you couldn't marry her as well.
لأن الله عز وجل.
Because Allah, He said,
الزانية لا ينكحها إلا زان أو مشرك.
The lady who commits zina, no one will marry her except someone who is similar to her or a mushrik.
أما الأمر الثالث.
The third point.
لابد أن يغلب على ظنه.
Is that in his opinion, it has to be overwhelming in his opinion.
بأنه إذا رزق بمواليد.
That if she were to give him any children, offspring,
ألا يتوجه إلى غير دين الإسلام، لا تؤثر عليهم أمهم على غير دين الإسلام.
He has to feel, for the most part, that the mother is not going to have an impact on his children and changing them into non-Muslims from Islam.
وكذلك النقطة الرابعة عليه أن يسعى لأن يدعوها إلى دين الله عز وجل فلعلها تسلم.
And number 4, the man who marries a lady like this, he has to make efforts to give her dawah to al-Islam in the hopes that she becomes a Muslimah.
النقطة الخامسة لابد أن
The 5th point.
لابد أن يعطي صورة جميلة عن الإسلام لغير المسلمين إذا ما تزوج من غير المسلمين.
He has to give her a good picture and a good image about al-Islam and his own behavior.
وينضبط بالضوابط الشرعية.
And those things are, they have their rules and regulations that are known. Okay, Ikhwani, we're going to stop here, inshallah, in preparation for Salat al-Isha. We thank the Sheikh and we thank you as well for your good listening to